Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. And I made a promise in my last video and I'm going to hold true to that promise. We're going to talk more tech on here. And I thought what better place to start than with my tech backpack. This is what I carry with me on a daily basis. I use it for work and pretty much everyday thing in my life, from vlogging to comic booking to you name it. So I thought it'd be fun to go through it and I'll show you what tech things I have with me on a daily basis and things I actually use on a regular basis as well. Follow me on this journey. So I thought we would start off with my backpack itself because it is a tech backpack. It is the OGIO brand. I never know if I'm saying that right, OGIO, I think it's right. But it's a great backpack. I actually bought this a number of years ago and it's still going strong. Has your normal front compartment, a kind of just catch-all department, a main compartment, a files and folders compartment, but more importantly, it has a spot for my tablet, my laptop, and everything else, but we'll cover that in a minute. But I thought it'd be fun to show you the backpack I use. I think I paid $50 for it when I bought it, but I've had it for at least 4 years, so I think I've gotten my money's worth out of it. But let's talk about the backpack itself, or the contents, I should say. Let's talk about the contents of the backpack. We're gonna start off with my very front pouch on here, which is where I keep some basic stuff. Nothing too crazy. It's actually a charger for my phone. And what's cool about this charger is it actually is one of those chargers that uses the MagSafe connection on back. So it just magnetically connects right to my phone itself. It saved my life, especially this past weekend when I was out of town. Since we're using GPS so much, I relied on this heavily. It is my 10,000 amp power bank. So I use this for all my other devices, like my cameras, my laptop. I have charged my laptop off this on the go. It's been very useful, very resourceful. I think it's one of those things you should always have in your tech bag. Well, kind of boring, but the other thing I have in there, I always keep a mask with me now just to be safe, especially if somebody, is coughing, doesn't sound too healthy or great. There's actually a hidden pocket here on the front that I have some stuff in. I won't show you the other thing all the way, but for all intents and purposes, it's my vaccination card. For those of us nerds like myself, a Comic-Con badge holder is the perfect size for your vaccine card. The other thing is, and this is what makes my son truly happy because he loves these, I always keep a poncho in my backpack. I used to always keep an umbrella in there, but let's be honest, I live in Tucson. Not really a point to having an umbrella with you all the time. All right. The next part is, again, like I said, it's kind of like my catch-alls. Since I do work in tech and I have sold comic books and everything before, this seems kind of weird, but I actually keep 2 square readers in my backpack. One takes wireless payments for cards, chip readers, everything else. The other one's just your traditional slide. I mostly have used them in the past when I've sold comic books or whatever and what have you, but I've also used them when you have that one friend that's like, oh bro, I only have my card on me. Just pick this up and I'll pay you back later. No, it's cool, dude, I take card. A lot of people kind of think I'm crazy when I say that. The other thing I keep up in here, in this part of the backpack, again, it'll seem kind of silly and obvious, but I thought it'd be fun to share. I keep pins and a regular flash drive, because you never know when you're going to need a regular flash drive. And that, yes, that is an Apple Pencil in there. I don't keep it connected to my iPad all the time because I've noticed there is phantom drain if you just leave it on your iPad. My iPad will last a week plus at a time on one charge, but as soon as I throw the pencil on there and leave it on there, it only lasts for a couple days. It might be hyperbole. I don't mean to slander or anything like that. That's just been my experience. I've noticed that my pencil does have a phantom drain on my iPad. But you can never not have a pen on you. You never know when you're going to need it. And I love using the Apple Pencil. It's actually been a huge help in many, many instances with me. Well, now we're going to get into some of the good stuff here. We're going to get into the middle part of my tech bag. And this is where I keep stuff I tend to use a lot, but not necessarily on a regular basis. For example, I keep one of my cameras in my backpack at all time. Since I started vlogging, I never know when is going to be a good time or a bad time to vlog. So, like in my backpack, I pretty much always keep my Canon, my G7X Mark II camera in there, which is a great vlogging camera. I like to keep in this case because they cost a lot of money. You got to keep them safe. And I got that case on Amazon, I think, for 10 bucks. And my camera, I think I told you before, I picked it up for a steal. I paid right around $260 for it. And that's normally a $630 camera if you check Best Buy or what have you. So one of those things I always keep there in my bag. And like I said, it's come in handy quite a bit because you never know when the moment would come to vlog. The other thing I keep in there, and this might be an item I might be exchanging soon as I haven't decided yet, is I always keep a really good pair of headphones with me. I'm actually deaf in my left ear, so sound's very important to me. So these are the Bose Quietcomfort 45s. I've been happy with them so far, but they've had a weird tick with me where if I'm watching something like video specifically and there's Bluetooth on there, it's kind of like an old CD where it's like it starts to skip and I don't exactly know why. It would be like, hey, let's go down to the mall, and that little gap on there, it'll do the boing, which if you're familiar with iPhones means your Bluetooth is repaired. So I don't know if it's just the videos I've been watching or what have you, but it happened on both my iPhone and my iPad on my recent trip. So I had the AirPod Pro Maxes before, but I thought they were just too big, too heavy, too cumbersome for my daily travels. But I think I might exchange them and get them back again. Now here's something that every tech weenie should have in their bag. You don't know what that is? Well, let me show you. To me, this is the most important thing I carry most of the time. It's actually all my different cables and chargers that I need for all the different devices, or extra cables, extra chargers. I never know what I'm going to need until I'm in that moment where I really need it. Truly is overkill, fully aware, but it has saved me more than once, and actually saved my peers more than once at work, and even when I've been on road trips with people, you know, oh, I forgot the cable for my whatever. Chances are I probably got it. I always have like 5 charging blocks in there, all the cables, and actually this backside has a pocket on it that's also full of other cables I may need. So you'll never not find this in my backpack when I'm on the go. The next part is actually the top part of my backpack. It's where my sunglasses normally go, and I do keep sunglasses in there on a regular basis. But when you have balance issues like I do, I suffer from vertigo as a result of all my ear issues, I always have Dramamine on me, and I always have chapstick. So that's what I put there in the top part, along with an extra mask if I need it, or sunglasses where applicable. Like when I'm on a trip, I don't take all my sunglasses and stuff with me. I just throw them in my bag. So the next part is where normally I would keep documents and everything, which I do keep documents in there, but not all the time. Like right now, I have a book I'm reading. It's actually called The Man Who Foiled the Jamestown Massacre. It's actually the story about Richard Pace, who had an adopted son who was a Native American, and he actually warned Richard about the impending Jamestown attack. The reason I'm reading this book, I've read a lot of stuff on this, but Richard Pace is actually one of my great-great-great-grandfathers. So I thought it'd be cool to learn a bit more about him. So, just reading up on some of the family history. The other thing I always keep in this part of my bag is actually my my laptop charger. It is the 45 amp charger for my MacBook. And what's really good about this one, it also works on my iPad. I know we shouldn't be charging devices like an iPad with it because it can overpower the battery and actually cause it to degrade a little bit faster. But sometimes I see that quick charge on it, and it's a godsend. Okay. The next thing, since I love you, Apple, but you make your memory so expensive on your devices, is this. It's actually my portable hard drive. It's one of like 3 that I carry. It's a Western Digital 2 terabyte. Since my MacBook itself is only 256 gig, it fills up pretty fast. I've actually had a factory reset it a couple times just from doing general work with it. So what I do with this, as soon as I'm done editing or whatever I need to do on the go with my MacBook, I will load it on there. All my pictures, my videos, all the comic book files I ever worked on, pretty much my entire digital life is on my hard drives. And it's a 2 terabyte. I might actually have to upgrade pretty soon to a 5. Because you're always on the go, you're always working. There's no such thing as wasted footage in the digital age. The next one, I already mentioned it, is my MacBook Pro. It's an older one. Oh, you see my reflection there. You can tell I have some cameras off to the side. It's a MacBook Pro. I believe it's the 2018 model, if I remember off the top of my head, 256 gig model. I pretty much only work on this when I'm out and about. At home, I have a 27-inch 5K iMac that I do a majority of the work on. But sometimes when I'm out and about traveling, I don't want to miss those deadlines I set for myself, so the MacBook Pro comes in handy. I will say I wish I bought the one with a little bit more RAM and maybe a bigger hard drive, but so far it's definitely served its purpose with me, so I have 0 complaints on it. So yay, way to go MacBook Pro. And lastly, but certainly not least, I have a 12.9-inch Imac Ipad Pro. I'll be the first to say I actually think the 12.9-inch is way too big. I got it at the time because I was trying to replace my MacBook Pro, and I soon realized there's plenty of things that you can do with the iPad, but a lot of stuff is just reserved for the MacBook and iMac, whatever computer. It just needs that power. So I do love my iPad Pro, and I actually have the Apple keyboard to go with it because I do use it quite a bit. So when we went to Disney World a couple years ago, look how little my kids were back then. So, I mean, I use it on a daily basis. I actually use it for work quite a bit too. Because if I'm on the go and I got to do stuff, this is a great tool to have around, especially with that VR element to it. But that's it. That's the stuff I keep in my tech bag that I use on a daily basis. Now, there's plenty of stuff that rotates in and out, like my GoPro stuff, which is what I'm shooting on now, or even just other accessories and things I may need on a day-to-day basis once in a while. But for the most part, what you saw there is what I use on a daily basis. But yeah, that's some of my tech stuff that I have. What kind of tech stuff do you keep in your backpack? I would love to know, because there's those handful of things we always have with us. We kind of feel lost without them, if you will. So please comment down below. What are some things you carry in your tech bag? And maybe what's some things you're surprised I don't carry in my tech bag? So yeah, and please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And thanks for tuning into another episode of Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. We finally did it. We talked about tech on the Tesla Tech and Travel show. All right, guys, thanks for taking another ride with us, and hopefully we can take another ride again soon. Bye-bye, everybody.